Oh, it didn't think hand was broken. Well, we're acting like we're broken. I think yeah. This is broken.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome inside the Simply Financial Athletic Center here at Niagara College on the Welland campus. I'm Alec Murray alongside Noah Vogel. A three-game homestand wraps up this afternoon. Niagara College, and a good one. The St. Clair Saints in town, Noah. The second and third place teams doing battle. St. Clair, 13 wins on the season. Niagara sits at 10. A four-setter last time these two teams played. And we're going to key on a massive matchup this afternoon, and you're going to look right in the middle. Sam Cormier and Geneva Huisman are going to be back and forth. The two big names, they lead almost every statistical category in the OCAA. Blocks, points per set, they're right up there. And those are the two big stars here we're going to focus on this afternoon.
Yeah, in their last meeting, that 3-1 win for St. Clair and Windsor, both of them recording 15 kills in that game. They led each of their teams. Like you said, we'll look to see them in the middle this afternoon. It's going to be a battle between those two, but starting things off will be Natalie Little. And that's another thing, too. A bit of a change in the lineup for NC. Abby Gooder's back in the lineup after missing their game on Wednesday. Little starting off with a bit of an ace. She's playing on the right side today, something she's not usually in that position for, but she's such a versatile player. She's incredible defensively and offensively, and I think she'll pick it up real quick.
Back into the lineup. She missed a couple of games last week, and of course this sickness bug going around, starting to get healthy, and you want to play your best volleyball, Noah, right at this right time, as there's a good swing on the far side, and we're tied at ones here early on in this first set. Not Little, I talked to Natasha Desjardins, who's the right side queen, if you will, at Niagara College, their assistant coach, and she said she hasn't played there a whole lot, but they're looking for a little bit more firepower up front. Nat Little definitely provides that, and we'll see how she does from the right side, as they've got good play, Niagara has, from others around and others who they maybe haven't expected. As you look at a couple of other players, Aza Zembayasi getting a start again. She started 3 straight games for NC, and she's just gotten almost better with every single one of those starts.
Yeah, since she got her first start in the beginning of 2025, she's been incredible. She was player of the game on Wednesday and recording double-digit kills, and exactly right. Like, having Abby Gooder back, you want to get her back into the lineup because she has been so good. She had 13 kills last time these two teams faced, and being able to have all those options now on the court with Little playing on that right side is going to be a big boost for NC.
It was a 3-1 St. Clair win last time these two schools did battle, as there's a set out of the far side, put down. Halbin set up out of the far. I'll put up a free ball. A reset coming out of the middle. There's a big swing, and there it is. As that one is Harley Smith out of that middle ball. We're going to see a ton of middle runs here this afternoon. We talked about it last time these two teams met, Noah. It went only 4. St. Clair was able to win on home in 4 sets, but every single one was at least no larger than a 3-point margin.
Yeah, and it's tight to begin here, back and forth. That last attack from Huisman, just able to get that opportunity to go solo against Sam Cormier, beat her.
And they go right back to Sam Cormier.
She got 2 kills here early on. They're going back and forth here in this first set.
So the middle's living up to it here to start, as Sam Cormier will go behind the service line. Just getting underway, this women's matchup. The men side of things will go at 3 o'clock. That one will be passed up out of the back by Hobbit. There's another swing out of the middle. And another answer as Huisman puts another one away.
Going to her early in different positions, that time wrapping around the setter and just able to fool the middle block from Tess Kelly that time.
Hobbit's serve is good. Little will bump one over. Here they come. Clements comes to the near side, put away. Reset. Niagara, they'll go pipe ball, and Abby Gooder will dump it in the back corner.
Smart swing. She was a little bit off the attack line, was just able to roll it on the back line. And NC with an early start here, 5-3 they lead.
Well, a little bit off timing, you're exactly right, but the veteran Gooder able to find that back line and put it in a perfect spot. Here's Montana Taylor to serve. Great serve from Taylor put it up for Wiseman. Blocks at the net, but not in time. Just late closing that. You can't be late when she's swinging.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Kelly. Just a little bit late up to the net. She was a good foot off of the mesh that time, and it came right down off of her arms. And a good swing on the outside. Again, St. Clair seems to have an answer for the night so far.
Tess Kelly out of the middle. That swing off the block. Wiseman recycles. There's a swing, and Carl's going to find the court. Stuck on the floor on the Niagara side of things. And we're tied at 5, so back and forth we go early on in this one. Wiseman back to serve once more. Float is into the mesh. So the missed serve, Niagara goes back up 6-5 early on.
And an interesting fact in this matchup between these two schools, St. Clair hasn't lost to NC since 2019. And if you just look at the roster for St. Clair and how many second and third years they've built this program over the past few years, and they just keep getting stronger every single season, and really showing that here with their 13-2 record. But NC's had a good start here. They're looking fresh after coming off their win on Wednesday.
Julianne Milling, the fifth-year head coach of the St. Clair program. She's been with them really this entire stretch and really built a great program. And you look at St. Clair, one of the best athletic facilities in all of, not even Ontario, but maybe Canada at a college level. Beautiful, beautiful facilities over at St. Clair. They do it right, and they on the up and up, that's for sure. Here's the set out of the middle. Good swing off the block. Kelly was able to get a piece of it. They'll come out to Little. She'll put one down the line, but it's out on the near side.
Yeah, it's such a professional atmosphere over there in Windsor at the St. Clair facility. I know of myself playing on the brand new soccer field they've had for the past couple of years. It's just, incredible. You feel like you're in a whole different realm, and being able to play that for half of your season is, such a big advantage as well. A lot of teams having to travel far to get to Windsor, and they have an excellent record at home for the past few seasons, and that's, it tends to, of course, that facility they have, right?
Well, and you look at a bus trip, it's about 5-ish hours on a bus, depending on the weather. Of course, not the best weather over the last week or so in Niagara, but it's about a 5-hour bus trip, minus a stop if you want to add that in there as well. But one of the furthest teams to travel on either ends is St. Clair to Niagara, and I know you've done that bus trip. I've done that bus trip a couple of times. But yeah, you're right. From the soccer field, the football field, baseball fields there, the indoor facility, the athletic area, the workout center, all beautiful and a great job. And St. Clair's, here's Tess Kelly with a serve. 9-7 early on here in this first set, rolling right along. And Montana Taylor just caught out of position there.
Great disguise on that set from Clements, able to push it to the right side that time. Cormier wasn't able to read the play that time. She was well laid, and Gooder was left all alone. A good swing on the outside again.
St. Clair with 3 swings up front. Serve is good. Passed up well. Taylor gonna go back to Little, in on the back line as she finds it. So Nat Little able to find the court here after a few swings, and let's see if they can get her in a roll. And part of having her on the right side, Noah, as they said, they want to have more of a, an approach up top, and they're going to look for that, and they're going to look for her quite a bit here this afternoon. Great dig. As Gooder will put one back, saved in the back row. Is Carl able to save it? Recycled off the block. Taylor's going to do another one. Carl able to get another one out of the back row. Roll shot in, and that one did fall down. What a job by Carl out of the back row at St. Clair. 2 big, almost fight-off saves. Able to pop those up, almost a beach style.
Yeah, the St. Clair team does a great job covering off of blocks. They were able to recover that time and turn into another offensive opportunity.
Louis passes over. Clements out of the middle. And it's tipped in and over, and she can't do anything wrong. Wiseman once again able to find a point for St. Clair, and we're tied at 10s.
Smart, that ball was tight to net. Cormier was having to reach over, but stayed disciplined that time, and she was just able to beat her off of her own hands.
Harley Smith to serve. To Louis, good pass. Taylor, middle. Cormier off the block, recycle. Clements goes into the middle, massive swing. Geneva Huisman does not miss as she tees another one up. And St. Clair has their first lead here of this game.
NC just can't handle her right now with that solo block. Cormier is such an excellent hand up at the net, but she needs that extra help to try and fight that attack off, because Huisman just has the entire court to attack at, and she's finding spots on the court right now.
Sam Cormier leading the OCAA in solo blocks this season with 53. Geneva Huisman second with 36. So it shows you how good of a solo blocker that Sam Cormier is and can be. That one finds the court somehow. Brianne Hobbin cut that one right down the line. And it's another 1 point St. Clair advantage.
That was
how she stayed off the net.
Incredible reach. I mean, she bumped into the head official right in front of us, but able to keep her body upright and find that court on the far side.
Great get to Louis to keep that ball up. Bump back over, free ball St. Clair. How do they use it? Clements goes to the near side. They go right back to her, and they're going to say that one was in. So a couple of swings from Brianne Hobbin. The Guelph, Ontario native, second year at a Centennial.
She had 13 kills last time these two teams faced, and the Saints just doing a great job putting pressure with these serves. They forced a couple of free balls, which they've turned into really good attacks up at the net.
Great get on the St. Clair side, able to get that Kearns, and there's Cormier up at the net. And just back and forth, we continue to shoot these two teams, 13-12. And this is going to be a long one. So we get a substitute serve in for Niagara College. Charlize Trudell into serve for NC. Spinner is good. Overpass up at the net. Kelly trying to put it back down. Right there and sent back. And a 2 point advantage for St. Clair.
Just had a lot of time to think about that one. The ball was just coming down right on top of Tess Kelly, and it was a great read up at the net. And a strong block.
Those are always the tough ones, though. You want to hit them so badly, but in reality, maybe you want to set that one back up. Taylor able to get to it. Sambasi puts it over. Clements in the middle. It is set back, and there's Tess Kelly. One-on-one. And she gets it right back at a 1 point St. Clair advantage. Taylor to serve. Off pass, and we're back tied again. That's going to lead to our first time out of this set, and what an excellent set it's been thus far. 14-14 as St. Clair ups to use their first time out of the first set. Noah, exactly what we thought. The middle's coming into this one early on. Geneva Huisman, excellent. A couple of big kills as well. Sam Cormier, couple of blocks. She's gotten in on the action. Tess Kelly, big time block to lead into that timeout for Niagara. We're tied at 14.
Yeah, and I mean, also having that secondary option for NC and Tess Kelly, she read that block perfectly. She saw Huisman just turning that shoulder slightly. She wanted to cut that one to the left side of the court, and she was able to get her arm straight up and find that ball. It was a perfect block out of the middle, but we haven't seen a lot of big rallies so far in this first set because both teams are just putting balls away here early on. It's been exciting action up at the net, and we'll see coming out of the timeout. I think head coach Julianne Milling just trying to settle things down. Her team had built a bit of a lead, and NC's been pushing back as of late and are starting to build some momentum here in this set.
This is a big game for Niagara if you look at the standings, Noah. And coming in, of course, Humber sitting at 16-0. That program outstanding as always, the Humber Hawks. But then you kind of look from 2 to 4, or 2 to 5, I should say. St. Clair with a 13-2 record. Niagara sitting in third at 10-5. Mohawk holding on to that last home playoff spot right now with a 9-6 record. Fanshawe sitting at 8-7 in the 5 seed. And Redeemer at 7-8. So all those teams right crunched in, and really it's anybody's game. Niagara really wanting to try and separate themselves on Mohawk and get that 11th win of the season.
Well, and finishing as high as possible will make it down the stretch of the playoffs. You want to play Humber as late as you possibly can when you get into those knockout stages. So finishing higher up in the West Division will give them a better opportunity. But of course, the main goal is to have a home playoff game for that first matchup when you get that crossover. And for NC, that'll be big as well. The men's team fighting for that as well. Want to see as many home playoff games this year as possible.
Niagara will have 2 remaining games after this one here this afternoon, both on the road, both up north. As the up north road trip to end the season comes in February to Boreal and Cambrian. Niagara really wanting to stay in that 3rd seed. Looks like St. Clair's pretty much locked into that 2 seed, but that 3 seed is still up for grabs as that one sails out the back, and it's a 2-point game, 17-15. St. Clair coming out of that timeout on a 3-0 run. Zambiasi's serve is good. Bumped out to the near side. Swing by Carl, kept alive and bumped back over. And that one's going to find the court. Is unable to get that up was Haben. And it's a 1-point game here in set number 1 if you're just joining us. Jump float Zambiasi. Clements puts it up. Carl's swing, put back over. Reset, Clements goes back. There's a big block of the net for Niagara. Free ball coming back over. How will NC use it? Looking to tie it up. They're going to go near side. Little! And she's able to paint that line again, and a big swing as it's tied at 17.
That's what you get from Natalie Little on that right side. She was reaching for it, but just the ability to find that line shot on such a tough scramble. NC had been playing excellent defense. St. Clair was pushing it right back at them, but they were able to take advantage of the free ball. Natalie Little able to put it away, but they give away the point on that missed serve.
Serve. Zambiasi passes off. Swing on the outside. Gooder looking for touches. No. And St. Clair back to a 2-point advantage. Getting down to the nitty-gritty here in set number 1 as Emma Clements back to serve. The 3rd year from Windsor. DeLuey passes. Taylor for Little. Off the block. Kept alive, tight to the net. Played off the net beautifully, but it's sent out the back. That's a great read. Haley Kearns off the mesh. St. Clair unable to put it back in the court. And we haven't had a lead in this game more than 3 points. And it's, again, right back to the first time these 2 teams met, Noah.
Yeah, so back and forth. And we can maybe even see extra points here early on in this game here in this first set. It just seems every punch thrown has been taken and thrown right back. And Gooder's slow to get up over on that far side.
Ariana Carl found that seam and she put it down to the back row, and you're right. Abby Gooder says she's all right. Kind of trying to shake off. You look at that right ankle, leg area of Gooder, and a place where she's had injuries before. Says she's all right. 2-point advantage. She'll stay in the game. Passes it up very well. Taylor goes right back to her. Gooder off the block. It's recycled by St. Clair. They'll bump it to the near side. Swing is kept alive. Zambiasi. Oh, what a save by Natalie Little. DeLuey takes hands. Gooder will dump to the back row. Popped up by Carl. Clements offside. Adjustment is good. And Kearns finds the point. Just smart play by Kearns on the outside to kind of see Niagara in a scramble.
How about that reaction save by Natalie Little to keep that play going? But you're exactly right. Cormier was a little bit late to get to the party on that far side, and she was trying to get back into position, so she overreached and was called on the net that time.
Just almost in a scramble, Noah, but again, great play by Haley Kearns on the outside. The Prince George native in her 3rd year for this St. Clair team. 21-18, Steve Stone going to call his first timeout of the afternoon and try to get his girls back in a rally, but it's exactly what we've expected, Noah. back and forth, these two teams keep shooting. We haven't had a lead bigger than 3. We have a 3-point lead right now, 21-18. As Steve Stone talks things over with his troops. St. Clair in a push 4 here situation.
Yeah, I think just getting refocused on this serve receive. They haven't been getting the best looks up at the net these past couple points, and it's allowed St. Clair to build this lead. And that was a great defensive effort from NC. They just stayed alive and forced that error from the Saints. That was earlier on in this set. Now down 3, 21-18.
You're going to rely on those big blocks up at the middle at the net, and they got one there on that last replay we saw from a couple of points ago. 21-18. Carl's serve, good. Gooder fights it off. Louis takes hands. Zambiasi off hands, recycled. She gets it right back. And a 4-point advantage. Biggest lead of the game for St. Clair.
Well, and that's exactly what's put NC in this deficit here. They just haven't been able to get those passes, and were off the net that time. Zambiasi had 2 attempts at it, but St. Clair was there. They read it well.
DeLuis got to take hands again. They'll go back, Rose Zambiasi. Outside, Kearns. No, and Niagara will get a big point. Niagara having trouble passing the ball. Now we're going to see Kylie Baxter come in, get a little extra defense into the game, as well as she'll come in to serve for Natalie Little. Big situation, 22-19. Baxter into serve, and a 3-point St. Clair lead. Floater is good, taken well by Hobbin. They come back on the outside to her, and she puts it out. 22-20.
Good pressure up at the net. Hobbins was reaching a little for that one. It was tight to the mesh and just overhit it. And NC now got themselves within 2 here.
Serve off the top, Twine, and good! The home court roll for Baxter. And a missed serve turns into an excellent serve in a matter of inches. Noah, it's a 1-point game. Timeout St. Clair, their last of the set.
Yeah, sometimes just a little luck on your side can bring you back into a game, and now it's a 1-point lead only for St. Clair. They're taking their final timeout now. Maybe looking to ice Baxter from behind the service line, and we'll see who St. Clair elects to go to on this attack after coming out on the serve receive. Let's take a look at that service, that roll off the top. St. Clair was trying to play it off of the net, just a little too much for them to handle. And now we talked about that 3-point lead being the biggest. NC out of their timeout beforehand put on a 3-1 run, and now only down 1 here, 22-21.
Niagara has not led since they were up 14-12 back in this first set. 22-21, Baxter. Here comes the serve. It is out the back. Great leave. The St. Clair fans in attendance. You can hear them on the right side of the bleachers.
Yeah, incredible, making the trip all the way. And they're loud here now, just arriving moments ago.
23-21.
Bit of a miscommunication there, I think. St. Clair had no idea the timeout was called. Steve Stone going to call his final one here. St. Clair pushing 2 now, 23-21.
It's a good timeout for Steve Stone, of course. Niagara's going to get a chance to get this one back on offense. For St. Clair defensively, what look do you bring back? And they're going to try and get a good serve here. And this is the biggest point of the game right now, Noah. Either go 23-22 or set point here for St. Clair. Defensively, St. Clair's going to get a chance to drop what they want, and offensively, Steve Stone has a play in his back pocket. We'll see what they do. First things first, though, for Niagara, what they've struggled with this back half of this first set is getting a good pass off on the first time. We've seen DeLuis have to take hands a couple of times down this back stretch, and Niagara's going to look for a good pass here to try and run a good ball on offense. You see who's in the front row right now. look at call number 8's number here on this play.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty much perfect from the Knights here on out. They got to start with a pass.
Gooder's pass is good. They're going to run a step. Cormier dumps it over. Good cover by Smith. Popped up. Swing. Good dig to Louis. Into the scoreboard. Set point, St. Clair.
I like the look from the Knights on that one, the step around from Cormier, but that pass was just a little bit awkward for Taylor to get it tight enough to the net for her to really get a strong attack. She had to dump that one over, and St. Clair turned it right back on them. And now they have set point.
It is such a tough play to run, but when you get it right, it works well. It's great coverage by St. Clair. Zambiasi rolls it over. Passed off. It's going to be a free ball. Yes, they get it over. Niagara, offense. What do they go? Zambiasi in the back off the top tape. It rolls. Put back up. There's a massive block at the net, and it's Sam Cormier. Another solo block to that OCAA lead as she adds on, and there's still life for Niagara now. 2-point advantage St. Clair. As she got Hugh Eisman that time.
Knights needed that. They were in a bit of a scramble, but Cormier stayed strong up at the net and a huge block to keep this one going.
Serve is good. Pass is off. And it's a 1-point game.
And Carl just got up in two minds that time. She was trying to push that ball over to Clements and gave it a little too much gas. And now it's a 1-point game. NC can tie things up here.
Right down to the wire, just like we expected in set number 1. 24-23. Gooder serve is good. Passed up by Hobbin. Offside they go. Swing is down. And Haley Kearns ends the first set, and St. Clair takes the first one 25-23. And it looked like a little bit of miscommunication on the Niagara side of things in a set point type of situation that just cannot happen. And everybody froze.
Yeah, and Haley Kearns had a quietly strong, good first set for the Saints. She, when called upon, had a lot of great swings on that outside. That time was just able to beat Zambiasi up at the net. She swung right over top of her and was able to put that one away for the Saints, and they took the first set in a very tight one. The Knights pushed back, but St. Clair able to hold on to that lead.
So as we bring an end to set number 1, St. Clair takes the first one. As Noah, we take a look at this play, and that block from Cormier is just late to close. Opens up that gap for Haley Kearns, the Prince George native, able to end that first set for St. Clair, who takes yet another close one against Niagara. All 5 sets against these two teams now this season have been decided by 3 or less points.
Yeah, and you can't let it phase you. You know you were in that game, and you know you can continue to stay in close sets with this tough St. Clair team and just continue to fight. It was those little mistakes, it was the details late in that set from NC that pushed them to end up losing a very, very close one. It was a lot of passes were off the net in that back half of that first set, and it's not all to the Knights. St. Clair was doing a great job putting a lot of pressure on with their serves, a lot of tight ones, a lot of deep ones that were forcing a lot of balls to be off the net, and they weren't able to run their offense as well. They had a couple of plays, like you said, where Delohe was having to take hands, a lot of balls going into the back row, where Zambiasi was, having trouble finding the court from that pipe position, where she's much stronger up near the net, and the Knights just falling short. But if they can figure out those little details, can really turn it around. And of course, there's still much left to play, only down 1-0 here after St. Clair winning that one.
Well, and you mentioned that as well, Noah. And Zambiasi, they went to her a lot of times in that pipe position, and that's usually a bailout attempt. If you're kind of scrambling a little bit, you just pop that ball up and let your back row take it. Zambiasi saw a lot of those attempts. A lot of those are rolls too, because they're not great sets, they're not in time. So she just, mindset-wise in that position, put the ball over, which she did a fairly good job of. But again, you look at Sam Cormier and Montana Taylor, who really didn't have that synchronized, that when they're both clicking, they're almost one of the most unstoppable duos up top. They just didn't have that timing down in that first set. Example, right at the timeout, that step that Steve Stone obviously wanted that play right off the hop in a 2-point game. They don't get a great pass. Taylor forced to run off the ball. They're going to set that off, and then Cormier's kind of got to do what she can with that set. But again, Niagara needs to focus back to basics. Get that first pass up. Taylor running around a little bit too much in that first set to be able to be as effective as she can be. And we'll see here if they make a switch or if they stay with the original lineup that they had.
But you're exactly right. Those two, Cormier and Taylor, usually so in sync. And we saw in those first 2 points, they went to Cormier back-to-back, and it was the first 2 points of the game pretty much for NC were Cormier kills, and didn't really see that connection near that mid part in the latter half. She just wasn't able to get as good looks as she's used to. And credit to the Saints, they were doing a great job getting blocks up to the net and forcing those balls to be pushed off the net where Cormier can't really get those good looks. And for the Saints, they were able to create offense in sequence and out of sequence, and were pushing the Knights to force over free balls, which they turned into offense themselves. And overall, a close but strong win from St. Clair, and they'll look to double up here and see in a almost must-win set here in set number 2.
The blocks were there for Niagara too. A couple of big ones in that first set. Tess Kelly, Sam Cormier doing a good job up at the net, especially solo blocks. Looking to build off that here, and it's going to start out well for Niagara as that first serve of set number 2 heads into the mesh. If you're just joining us, thanks for joining us on a Saturday afternoon. Wrapping up a 3-game homestand. Niagara looking to go 3-0 on this stretch at home. Third last game of the season for the Knights in the regular season as they sit in third place. Great dig out of the back row. Zambiasi. It'll be dumped over by Little. Tight pass up top. Defense not there for Niagara, and Kearns takes advantage of it.
How about that one-handed set from Clements to keep it alive for Smith out of the middle? Is a good dig defensively from the Knights to keep it alive, but another free ball opportunity. They're able to put it away with Kearns.
Here comes the serve. Gooder passes. Taylor. Back row. Little puts it down. Pass back over. Free ball Niagara. DeLuey for Taylor, who swings away and finds a seam. So a little bit of a backwards play there, but Taylor, who's in the front row, able to swing away. It's another advantage when you have Montana Taylor. Yeah, maybe you only have 2 swings, but Taylor very, very capable of swinging away as well. Passes tight to the mesh. They'll dish it off, put over by Hobbin. Taylor spins, hammers, and it's good. So Montana Taylor, a couple of kills here back-to-back from the Niagara setter, 3-1 NC.
Yeah, just caught the Saints block off the net that time, and she leads all setters with kills this season. She's got 75 now after those back-to-back kills, and she's so deadly up the net, whether it's dumping close to the mesh or that time swinging.
Pass is off. Little calls off to Louis. Cormier puts it over. Free ball, Saints. They're going to go to the outside. Hands there. Could not get that pop back up to Louis. A good effort. And Haley Kearns will be back to serve for St. Clair. Serve is good. Zambiasi takes it. Pipe ball is no good from Natalie Little. They've gone to that pipe early and often in this game. Looks like they're trying to establish that. It's just not working right now for the Steve Stone and his coaching staff.
Well, and Little, most often playing on that left side, she will be operating out of that pipe in the back row. And throughout the season has been very successful there. She's now, we talked about the start of the broadcast, on that right side, but you see Steve Stone's made an adjustment. He's now moved defensively. Abby Gooder's now taking over that right side defensive role, and Little's going to be attacking out of that middle because usually she's getting a lot of looks in those back row attacks, but this Knights team doesn't really go to that C ball very often, so they're going to look for her here in the second set out of that pipe position.
Pass is tight. Pop back over. Another tight pass, Niagara. Little, great defense. Gooder takes hands. Zambiasi. Pop back up by Kearns in the middle. And Hugh Eisman takes advantage as that's her first kill of set number 2. Bumped up by Gooder. Zambiasi, great get into the back row. Another tough pass for Niagara, who continue to struggle passing the volleyball here. Good save. That one was probably going out. Played off the net by Zambiasi. Reset Niagara. Free ball coming. Step Hugh Wiseman. Another good get. Tess Kelly diving out to keep it alive. Set to the outside. It's blocked. And a scrappy set. Niagara somehow able to come out with it on top in a 5-4 NC lead. Just great gets all around from Gooder to Tess Kelly on the near side. Zambiasi as well. Scrappy volleyball for that point. And that's going to roll off the top, taping down. Double point lead, 6-4 NC.
Yeah, that last point, just a pure defensive point for NC. They were all over the floor, not letting that ball drop in and force the Saints to make the error they ended up putting into the block.
Bullet of a serve, passed up by Stocks. Free ball. Niagara, how are they going to use it? There's a great pass to Louis. Zambiasi puts it down. Maybe the cleanest run of the set. To Louis, able to give Taylor a perfect pass. Zambiasi connects that block late.
Well, that's
7-4.
Exactly it. That pass was pinpoint, and it forced St. Clair to be scared about that middle attack, and it opened up for Zambiasi.
Little puts it over. Bumped up top, Hobbin. Swing on the outside. And over top of the net is Brianna Hobbin. Sorry, that's Carl on that far side. And an early timeout here taken by St. Clair, who trail by the biggest they have here in this game. It's a 4-point Niagara College lead, 8-4. Early in set number 2. Thanks for joining us inside the Simply Financial Athletic Center. I'm Alec Murray alongside Noah Vogel for the first of 2 here this afternoon. Final home games of the regular season for both Niagara College men's and women's volleyball teams. Noah, a much better start for Niagara. Still a little bit sloppy, but the last couple of points able to get a couple of good passes and a couple of good runs, capitalizing on St. Clair mistakes.
Yeah, you could say sloppy, but their defense has looked organized. They've fouled balls off of touches. They're getting a lot of good looks up at the net, and we saw this was one of their best runs they've had so far in these first 2 sets. A perfect pass and a great set to the outside. Zambiasi operating from that right side on that possession and was able to work it off the block. And they've kept St. Clair on their heels here in the second set with their defense. They've had a couple of excellent digs which have kept balls alive and have forced St. Clair to make mistakes. They've had a couple of attacking errors up at the net which have led to this 4-point lead.
Out of the timeout, 8-4, trying to freeze Taylor. And it works. And Wiseman will go back to serve here for St. Clair.
It's unfortunate to stop the run on a missed serve, but NC just got to focus on the next point here.
Great get by Gooder. Little puts it away. And another clean run by Niagara.
Well, that's exactly it. And you run Natalie Little, one of your best attackers, in sequence on that left side. And that gives you a really good opportunity to win the point if you see that happening.
Good serve, Zambiasi. Dump, and everybody froze. That's a frustrating one for Niagara. Everybody had their feet planted in that one. Good play by Emma Clements.
Well, so smart. She sold that perfectly. And standing at 5'4", you don't get a lot of dumps as a setter at that height. But when you're that smart and you're able to find holes in the defense, and of course, when you have Taylor in that back row, she doesn't want to play that first ball because she wants to get up to the net and use her hands that time. So it puts that little confusion between her and Delohi on who's going to take that ball, and that's exactly what happened with that one dropping in between both.
She gave it right back to the missing the serve. Good pass. Up tight to the net. Dumped over. Tess Kelly, good defense. Abby Gooder's swing is kept up by Hobbin. Outside they go, Kearns. Can't put it away. Taylor, Little, off the block, recycled up top. Far side, there's Kearns again, blocked. Taylor, Little, dumps, great defense, able to get their stocks and keep it alive as Kearns dumps it over. Defensively, Niagara not there to cover. Zambiasi and Kelly got caught. And St. Clair takes that hard-fought point.
Again, the Saints just able to get touches off the block, which have led to some much easier digs. They also had a couple of really big ones to keep that play alive, but that play on that last one, that ball dropping, Kelly just didn't read it. She thought Gooder was going to be coming off the net, but she was watching that cut shot and got in two minds, was able to win the point back nonetheless off the missed serve.
Continue to hurt themselves, though, as they miss another serve. Defensively, Niagara confused here. Again, everybody freezes on that swing on the outside, and it's Haley Kearns, who you talked about it, quietly maybe one of the best players right now for St. Clair. They've gone to her early and often. She's capitalized almost every single time in an 11-8 Niagara lead. Pass is tight. Cormier able to find the floor, but still that timing not there between the center and middle.
Yeah, but I like that set decision from Taylor. The pass didn't look like she was going to be able to go to the middle. She was able to rotate her body and find Cormier, and even though it wasn't a perfect attack, she was just able to push it around the block and create some chaos for the Saints. But again, errors hurting both teams here in this set, 12-9.
These missed serves coming now a little more frequent than we saw in set number one. 12-9 score, set two early on. St. Clair a 1-0 set lead. Here is Kearns. Serve is good. DeLuey, perfect pass. Cormier swings away. Great get diving in to keep the play alive. Carl. Free ball Niagara. Another good pass. Cormier puts that one away. And there it is. Taylor and Cormier able to connect. And a 4-point Niagara lead, as we'll see a sub here for St. Clair. Emma Cabral's going to come in.
It's going to keep three attackers up in the net for St. Clair in that substitution.
Cormier's serve is good, perfectly placed down the line. Carl's pass is off. To the outside they go, defense by Little, and it's sent back in the net. Good read by Hugh Wiseman up top. Nobody there for Niagara. They have to find a way to be able to get points with Hugh Wiseman up front, Noah. Taylor outside, Zambiasi adjusts, able to put that one back over. Hugh Wiseman out of the middle, and it's touches. And again, she connects. Every time she seems to rotate up to the front, Niagara almost starts to falter a little bit, and St. Clair gets right back into it. They have to find a way to try and take her out of the game. That's not going to help their situation. It's a 1-point game now. 3-point St. Clair swing, 13-12 Niagara.
Well, it sounds a bit straightforward, but you're exactly right. You got to take her out of the game by not letting her be in it. You have to put balls away. You have to create chaos on the side with your attacks and look to hit around her. You know, it sounds pretty straightforward, but you don't want to hit into that big of a block because she is so strong up at the net that they need to find ways to get her away from the net when attacking, and that comes down to starting off with an excellent pass. That one, unfortunately, you get shanked out of the back by NC, and now Steve Stone going to have to call a timeout to reset things, but when you're able to get that perfect pass, that allows Taylor to run anyone she wants up in the front row, which creates a little more variety for whether Heisman has got to stay in the middle while she has to go to the outside, which should create her being a little bit late to the party. As we saw that last play, Little trying to keep that one alive, just unable to keep it in play.
Geneva Hugh Wiseman living up to it all here this afternoon. 4th in the province in points per set at 4.3. She's right on pace with that. 3rd in the province overall with points at 213. And she's been a big issue. Niagara has not been able to control her here in the front row. Out of the timeout. 13-12. Serve coming from Hobbit is over. Another off pass. Taylor's got a dump over. Hugh Wiseman takes the first. They'll come near side. There's a good pass to Louis. Back row, Gooder. And it does not work out as they can't get that over the net. We're tied at 13.
These serves from Brian Hobbin have just troubled this Knights back line. She's done an excellent job putting pressure here, now tying the game up at 13.
So Louis pops it up, and it's out the back. It's gone from bad to worse for Niagara here.
Yeah, just got to erase that point and focus on the next. You know, passing mistakes are some of the hardest things to fight off as a volleyball player, but mistakes are going to happen. You got to continue fighting through it.
They cannot get a pass right now as that one rolls off the hands again of Louis. And it is all of a sudden a 15-13 St. Clair advantage. 5-point swing. Louis passes up. Taylor, Zambiasi, good swing, but a better keep up down the line by Cabral. And again, St. Clair connects. 6-point swing for the Saints. Hobbin serve. Gooder, another off pass. Taylor, Zambiasi rolls it down into the middle, and that'll end the 6-point run for St. Clair.
It's exactly what the Knights needed. They need to get out of that rotation and focus here now with Taylor in the back row.
Montana Taylor back to serve for Niagara. Here it comes. And it's out. So they'll put 3 swings up front. And they finally get Hugh Wiseman to the back row. Great serve by Hugh Wiseman as she picks on this near side, and it's grown to a 4-point lead.
That's a really, really tough serve for any passer to get. That was cut so well.
Again, another good serve. She picked that seam perfectly. No communication for Niagara, and it's a free ball for St. Clair. They go into the middle. There's a block, and it's out. 5-point St. Clair lead. The rut gets bigger for Niagara.
Real credit to St. Clair. They made those substitutions to bring Cabral in at that setter position, and she's just continued the flow of running this offense for the Saints.
Passed up, Taylor, middle, Kelly pushes in on the back line. Tess Kelly, smart play, able to hit that line of the back row. And it is a 4-point game. That's a massive point for NC.
That was really, really tight. NC needed that point.
See if they can go on a run. Zambiasi's serve is good. St. Clair goes back to the outside, and they get 2. Kearns caught on the net. And for as tough as this set has been for Niagara, Noah, they're right in it.
Exactly. A quick string of points can put them within a couple, and just staying close down the stretch can give you a chance to win. But again, they seem to be shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with their communication on defense. They started the set so well, where they were turning their defense into offense. Lately, they just have been a little bit slow to balls, but they can figure that back out. They just got to get focused again.
CC Stone emphatic on the sideline right now. That's about the 6th time, Noah, we've seen a ball just drop in the middle pot for Niagara. And against a team of the caliber of St. Clair, you can't have that many mistakes. And then again, cannot get that pass. I mean, you see Steve Stone right now talking to Louis on the sideline. We got to get some passes here, guys. 21-16. Niagara at one point had a 4-point advantage, Noah. It was a 14-10 game. And since then, it's been all St. Clair, outscoring them 11-2 over this stretch. And Niagara's running out of time to kind of get themselves right and right this ship. You don't want to go down 0-2 And they got to pick it up right now if they want to get themselves right back into this set. Not in a great spot, but they have an opportunity to. (21-16). Out of the timeout. Maleko's serve is into the net, so there they go. And we're going to get a substitute serve come in for NC as Charlize Trudell will check in. Big spot here for Trudeau. Trudell came in the first set, now asked to do even bigger spot here in set number 2. Spinner is off the top, Twine and down. 3-point game. And that wasn't a great toss. Tried to adjust it, could not get it over, so she comes in and gets one, but sends one into the mesh. 22-18.
NC's 4th service error of the set. Unfortunately, the difference between the two teams right now.
Carl's serve passed up to Louis. Offside they go. Little could not find the court. Tight to the mesh. And NC's going to win that point. So Kylie Baxter now checking in. So back-to-back substitute serves for Niagara College. 22-19. Baxter, float, good. Tight pass to the net. Gooder up top, and it drops in the middle again. That's going to be Niagara College's point. They're going to call it double.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because I understand the argument from Clements because, again, she's in the back row, so technically she's not allowed to be blocking. So that's why it would be that double hit. But she had her hands flat underneath the net. But I guess that's just considered a touch, right? And she touched it again and was able to put the ball over.
Julianne Milling doesn't like the call.
I think it's the right call, though.
It's a tight call. I do believe it is, too. There's the pass, set, near side, and it finds the seam. Haley Kearns gets it back for St. Clair. 23-20, and we're in the same spot we were in set number 1.
Well, and the Saints just brushed off that point, and they go to Kearns again on the outside, who's been so efficient attacking up with the net.
Zambiasi's pass, they go back for Baxter. Swings, good up, tight to the net. Clements adjusts, Kearns dumps. No coverage for Niagara, and it burns them again. St. Clair is just picking their spots, and Niagara's not adjusting to it.
Well, and Kearns has been hitting some really, really hard balls, and that time was able to draw in the defense and change up to her variety of attacks, and it caught NC off guard. They were expecting that tough hit down the line, and it never came.
Able to adjust, there's a tip. Gooder reads it. Taylor spins out the back. And St. Clair takes a 2-0 set lead. And Niagara, for as close as that game looks, did not play well in that second set, no.
Well, it's unfortunate that their errors put them in that hold. And like you said, it finished closer than maybe it should have been. But you got to give credit to the Knights. They weren't having their greatest set, but they continued to fight. And unfortunately, just in the end, St. Clair showed that they were the better team in that set and were able to put a couple of balls away and put that one to bed. And now with a 2-0 lead, you got a bit of a mountain to climb if you're the Knights. And we'll see. St. Clair are going to look to do the sweep here. They've been excellent in those first 2 sets. NC got to find themselves here, especially on that serve receive here for set number 3.
As we take a look here at the replay, and it's just, it kind of sums up that set for Niagara. And not able to pass, St. Clair gets another free ball, and they capitalize on it. It's a good get from Gooder, but too many free balls in that set to give to a team of the caliber of the St. Clair Saints. For Niagara, sound like a broken record, but they have to start getting passing. I don't know what that looks like or how that means. They have to start getting passes up and helping out their setter Taylor a little bit. And still, Niagara has not been able to get Sam Cormier going at all. Hardly said her name at all in that second set. And they just have not been effective in their ability to use her or Tess Kelly, the two of them very quiet in that second set. For St. Clair, really, Haley Kearns has been the star of the show. They've set her often, she's converted often, and she's been smart with it as well. Dumps in the correct spot, finding holes in that Niagara defense. Too many gaps, too many seams. Niagara has got to be better at getting those balls. No, I got to be on their toes. Can't be letting as many balls as they did in that second set just hit the floor. As now they find themselves in an 0-2 hole here as we get set for set number 3 here at the Simply Financial Athletic Center. I'm Alec Murray alongside Noah Vogel. A reminder, the men's slate to follow. Trying to bounce back after a tough one on Wednesday night. The men's team is, and looking to do that against a scrappy St. Clair men's team who took them to 5 sets back about a month ago before the Christmas break. So that game will be at the conclusion of this one. But right now, Niagara's got to find a way to dig their heels in and almost go back to basics, Noah. Scrappy volleyball. Get those balls. Find a way to get them over the net. And try and find a way to get Sam Cormier effective in the front row.
We'll see a change in the lineup. Kylie Baxter is going to start this third set. So no Aja Zambiasi here to start things off. St. Clair going to stay with the same lineup, and why not? It's been working. They've been flowing here early on, and it's bound to, well, they're up 2 sets to nothing here.
Good pass by Little out of the back row. Outside Gooder, swing is out, touches, no. And St. Clair will start with the first point of set number 3. So Harley Smith will serve. Jump float, good. To Louis, passes up. Baxter swings in on the back line. And we're tied at once. For Tess Kelly back to serve for Niagara. Kelly's serve is good. Clements into the middle. And Wiseman connects. Good effort from Kelly, not there in time.
But again, the Saints are getting Wiseman isolated with Cormier, and she's been getting the better of her all afternoon. She does it once again there.
2-1. Early stages of set number 3. Current serve is good. Baxter is rejected. Brianne Hobbin closed that one out. And a tight set to the net. Not much space for Baxter. Haley Kern serve. Floater is good. Into the middle. Cormier, that's a great dig by Stocks. Niagara will come up with the point. It's really the first pure swing we've seen from Cormier in the last set.
Yeah, it was a great look, just off center. Was able to free up that space for her to attack.
Baxter's serve is good. Clements in the middle. Wiseman kept alive. Little will dump over a free ball. Clements, step, Wiseman, dug up there on the line to Louis, back row Little. Sends it over, and some miscommunication there as Stocks was flying across. And we're tied at threes early on. Baxter, jump float is good. Passed up nicely by Hobbin. Clements, back to her. And Baxter couldn't get there.
Steve Stone a little animated on the far side. He thought maybe that was a double from Clements. You see that ball rotating a little bit. Not going to get the call that time.
It's a call they've gone away from calling as much as they used to. Plays that ball even though it's out. Stocks keeps Niagara alive in this one. There's a block up at the net. And another solo one for Sam Cormier. Stocks had no idea. She took a peek down after she passed that ball about 1.5 feet out on the line.
You could hear her teammates calling out, and I think she was just in the position where if she tried to get out of the way and she touched it by accident, might as well just play it at that point, and it turned into an NC point, but they give it right back on the missed serve.
Got her serve into the mesh. 5-4 here early on in set number 3. 2-0, St. Clair trying to sweep. Matchup between the second and third place teams in the West. Floater, DeLuey, good pass. Cormier! There's that connection. That time the step able to work. It was a great pass by DeLuey. And we're tied at 5s. Service good, passed up, Hobbin out of the back row. Clements, near side, down the line is in. As Carl was able to paint it. Emma Clements, serve, float, good, off pass Little. Gooder goes back outside to Little. Swings away, good get out of the back row. They'll come near side again, off the block. As Ariana Carl, a couple of points back-to-back for St. Clair.
Yeah, she's been a bit quiet in this game, but she had a great swing the play before, and that time with loads of confidence, out of sequence, and she's one-on-one with Taylor, able to wipe it off the block.
Float, fought off by Gooder, popped up, Little swing. Good take out of the back row by Hobbin, able to keep it alive. Free ball, Kelly. Taylor back for Kelly, dumps over. Here she is again, that's another great dig by Gooder in the back row. They'll set it to the outside, and there's the block. Kearns is sent back, and it's a 7-6 game.
Gooder with 2 incredible defensive plays. First on that serve receive. She's able to get it up almost perfectly to Taylor, one-handed in that dig on the outside attack again. That time from Hobbin, and kept that play alive, and good defense again at the net.
Larissa Shipper into the game, up in the front row, some extra size. Gooder putting on a clinic in the back row these last few plays. Free ball Niagara to Louis. Taylor, Kelly puts it away. Tess Kelly ties things up at 7.
And with that substitution too, with Skipper coming in, that change in Tess Kelly going to the outside, who's a little more used to that right side attacking. Skipper gonna play out of the middle for NC.
Comes to the far side, that'll roll off the block. And once again, Ariana Carl. So an effective shift, if you will, up front of the front row for Carl as she's back to serve. 8-7, early third set. And it's off the hands a little. But it's a 2-point St. Clair advantage. DeLuey, tight pass, middle, Shipper. And that one will fall in. Nine-8. Out of the middle. Kept alive by Little. Taylor's got to dump over a free ball in a perfect spot. She puts it right on the back line, and we're tied at 9.
Those are some of the points you love to have. And out of sequence, you think if you're St. Clair, you're getting a free ball, and you end up putting it deep right on the line.
Here's a big-time block. Tess Kelly got her. And she puts Niagara up 10-9. It's a second big block from Kelly. Little serve is good. Far set on the back, and another big-time block. This time it's Abby Gooder. Timeout St. Clair. So a 2-point lead for Niagara, their first lead of this third set, and it's their defense showing up. Noah, Tess Kelly on one side, Gooder on the other side, leads into a timeout, and Niagara starting to clean up their act here a little bit in this third set.
They're finding the reads on those sets a little more often here in this set, and ever since Skipper's come in, she's done a great job out of that middle. She's been operating in the front of the block to give a little bit more height up at the net, and she's been able to close a lot of those with Gooder and Kelly making a couple of huge blocks to give NC now a 2-point lead, and a must-win set being down 2-0 to the Saints.
So they'll chat things over here. Let's take a look, Noah. Little serve, and it's just great defense. And something Niagara really needed. Oh yeah, right. Great look by the camera crew. That ball just in. Just. So 11-9 out of the timeout. Little service good. Passed up Hobbin. Clements back. Great. And the dig is right back here. Up to the broadcast area at 11-10. Able to get her hands on it.
That was just a really strong swing out of the timeout. Go to Hobbit on that outside, who's been very efficient operating for St. Clair, and a good swing to find the point back, and they've won another, tying things up here.
So 11-11, they come back, erase that 2-point lead. Tied at 11s. Set 3 and a must-win for Niagara. Try to extend it. Here's the serve, off the top, tape it down, and DeLuey just couldn't get there, and St. Clair's back on top.
Well, perfect start of the timeout if you're St. Clair, 3 straight points.
Great adjustment by Montana Taylor. Could not get it to go, and we're going to get another timeout.
Well, and St. Clair knew exactly where that ball was going when that pass came up to Taylor, and she had really no other option, had to go to the outside. They got the block up, and a good strong hand up at the net, and a complete flip to the script sits that last time out. Now St. Clair leading by 2 here.
So Steve Stone burns 1 and 2 here in the third set. 13-11, and how much this set means, it's an early timeout for Steve Stone. They need to get back into it.
Take a quick look at that last play before the timeout. Taylor getting down to put that across. It just great hands up at the net. Really tight, disciplined block between Kearns and Wiseman, and they're able to deny Gooder up at the net.
Well, once again, look who's in the front row, and all of a sudden the tides change a little bit for St. Clair.
You're exactly right. She's just such a game changer when she's in that front row in the middle. Geneva Wiseman, and she continues to show why she's one of the best to do it in the OCAA this season.
Serve, Little, passes up. Taylor, Shipper, middle. Kept alive. Clements, middle. Hugh Wiseman drops a hammer. In a 3-point St. Clair lead.
Well, when you have the ability to hit a set that tight to the net that quick, you can pretty much throw any team up at the net blocking off, and Wiseman taking full advantage of it.
She's going to want that one back. It's one of those she's going to want back, Noah. We talked about it earlier. The toughest split-second decisions. She wants to pump that ball up. She gifts Niagara one. And bringing a sub-serve again. Charlize Trudell. In, serve, good. Tight pass, Clements one hand. Recycled off that block. Clements this time to the outside swing. High off hands. Taylor, Shipper, adjusts, gets it to fall. Not the prettiest, but it worked. And it's a 1-point game.
And just an excellent effort. She was a little bit early on her attack, but able to stay with it.
Spinner again from Trudeau is good. Middle, Hugh Wiseman again. They have to find a way to contain her.
Just the way she's able to get that much attacking power, whether she's tight to the net. That time she was well off it, and she's able to catch Gooder on that left tee and a huge kill. Now St. Clair leading 2.
Float is good, off pass. Miscommunication again, and it's a 3-point lead. Haley Kearns back to serve for St. Clair. Fought off by Gooder. Little up top. Gooder rolls it over. Clements. There's the block. Shipper. One-on-one. We're going to get a sub in for St. Clair. So a 2-point game, and it's another close one. Niagara needs to find that stretch now at some point here and kind of take a run and see if they can't get themselves in the driver's seat. They've been close. They haven't been ahead very much.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to which team can limit their mistakes here down the stretch.
Conley Baxter into serve, and she splits the seam. It's an ace for Baxter off the bench and a 1-point lead. Popped up tight to the net. Having to adjust. Eddie Wiseman again.
Just another perfect run to respond to NC pushing back with that ace. That pass was perfectly on 2.5 for Clements, and they go back to the middle.
Passed up well. Far side they go. Off hands. 3-point lead again. Eddie Wiseman is the definition of a bailout option for St. Clair. If you're watching, or if you have watched Niagara volleyball, you know Natasha Desjardins was the definition of the best bailout option in the OCAA for quite some time. Eddie Wiseman's that here for St. Clair. She's just outstanding, and that one will touch the floor. Doesn't matter where she is, what approach she's got, where the set is, she finds a way to put balls down to the court. Niagara's got to find a way to get her back to the back row.
Yeah, and credit to the rest of the Saints here. They've been able to get excellent passes, whether it's Cabral up with the net setting or Clements. And
Here they go again.
find her almost every time, and very uncharacteristic miss from her.
It's a 1-point game, 18-17 is Abby Gooder to serve. One more rotation piece here. Gooder floats just out. Can't have that right now. Coming down to the wire in a 2-point game.
And a really good leave that time on the back end by Stocks, as it was really, really close. It looked like it might have just been dying at the end, but just out on the back end.
Hannah Gill checks in to serve. Niagara's got to take advantage right now. This is the time they have to go. And a massive block! Harley Smith up at the net. 2017 Saints.
You don't often see Sam Cormier get locked to the net, especially on that step round against the shorter block, but she was met that time.
Taylor bumps that back row. Run. St. Clair, high off hands. Taylor after it, puts it up. Gooder out of the back row. Recycled well off the block. And that one's going to be outside the pin. It's a 4-point lead. 21-17, a push-4 situation for St. Clair. Steve Stone's going to burn his final timeout here.
The set's slowly getting away from the Knights now, and it's just, again, credit to the defense of St. Clair. They've been putting good balls over, and when the Knights try to respond, they're up at the net, getting touches on blocks and continuing to keep balls alive.
St. Clair, one of the best closing teams in the league, and they've shown that here this afternoon in their ability to close out sets and close out games. It seems they kick it into a second gear, Noah. When they get into this situation, 21-17, quickly as we're into our timeout. We should say we're missing a big part of our game day staff here this afternoon, Noah. Our friend Jeff is in the Dominican Republic. Said he wasn't going to let me back on the microphone if I didn't give him a shout out. So Jeff, as you sip on your pina coladas in the DR, you're well missed here. Can't wait to see you back next week. Enjoy your vacation. Of course, one of the big pieces of our athletic department. The 21-17 trying to pull out this third set win and extend it to 4. Here comes the serve out of the timeout. It is good. Push 3 here for St. Clair. 22-17. Float. It's in a perfect spot.
Could have been placed much better in that back left corner. You're always going to have a player reaching for it to keep it alive, and makes it almost impossible to pass.
That one's going to be out the back. It was played. Good save, Taylor. Cormier a free ball. And how do they use it? They come to the near side. Fanning on it, but it works. Is Ariana Carl. Set game point for St. Clair. And I don't know if we're in Windsor right now or in Niagara.
Yeah, those St. Clair fans have been rowdy ever since they arrived here, and they're backing their team right now, looking to sweep. But NC will live to see another day.
Or another point, as you will. 24-18, and how about this? Talking about a pressure situation. Tegan Heidemann needing a service run here. Gold off the bench. Down 6. See if she's got it in her. Puts the first one over. Popped up, tipped back over top and down. There's Little. 5-point gap. St. Clair holds a timeout in their back pocket. Julianne Milling does not want to use it. Heidemann, serve, good. They go back to the far side, and they're gonna catch him on the net. 24-20.
Just on that follow through, I think, from Maleko, ended up brushing the tape.
Trying to roll here, 24-20. Heidemann, float, good. Dug up at the net, recycled off the block. They'll come to the outside. Big time dig gooder. It's back over, popped up by Stocks. Oh, massive rejection. Tess Kelly teams up on the far side with Natalie Little, and it's a 3-point game. Timeout St. Clair.
Huge rejection on that outside. Kelly able to reach over the net and pushing that one back down on the Saints. 4-0 since Tegan Heidemann has come into this game serving, and often see her feature in sets as a sub server, and she's done an excellent job here since coming in. She's put in a lot of good pressure serves on St. Clair, and they haven't really been able to attack where they can put a ball away, and that's credit as well as to the Knights defense. They've hunkered down here down the stretch, and they've given themselves a chance here as we take a look at that last play.
Let's look at this here.
An initial dig from Gooder to keep that ball alive. St. Clair able to reset. They go to the outside, and
Kelly closed it perfectly.
Perfectly timed. That reach was disciplined. They were able to stay off the net, and Little and Kelly coming together with a huge block.
It's now or never, 24-21, 3-point game.
No timeouts left, so it's just up to the players now.
Both sides out of timeouts. Niagara trying to extend it to a fourth set. Still work to do. Heidemann into the net, and that'll do it. They freeze her at the service line, and St. Clair takes it in 3 straight sets. And the second place Saints knock off the third place Knights in 3 straight. 25-21, they take this third set. In Niagara, Noah, if you look back at this one, that second set was not their best. They had some good spots in the first and third sets. They could just not find a way to get a pass in the early going of this one. Defensively, they found themselves stuck on multiple occasions. And St. Clair comes away, and they will get their 14th win of the season. That'll solidify them in that 2 seed. Bearing a collapse for the Humber Hawks, which nobody foresees coming. St. Clair's gonna lock up that 2 seed. And now Niagara, it becomes more interesting with Mohawk right on their tail. 1 win behind. Niagara falls to 10-6. They remain for now in that 3rd seed, Noah. But just a brilliant effort off the bus for St. Clair and a long road trip and a tough road trip. They come out on top in 3 straight, which I don't think many expected coming into this one. I know you and I talked before, and not something at all that we expected to see was a 3-0 sweep on the women's side of things.
Well, and it just makes those final 2 games for NC away from home even more important. They travel to play Boreal and Cambrian, a team who they lost to earlier in the season, 3-1 against Cambrian. They had their way with Boreal. But like you said, that 3rd and 4th seed still very, very close between NC and Mohawk as of right now, who have to play Humber and St. Clair for their final 2 games. So 2 tough matchups for the Mountaineers, which could and probably will be in the favor of NC those final 2 games. But like you said, St. Clair showed why they're one of the best teams in the OCAA, and especially in the OCAA West, solidifying themselves now 8 points above NC in 2nd place and 14-2 on the season. But now we got the men's slate, and it's a game we talked about before. Important for both teams. It should be an exciting one.
It's going to be a massive game for both sides. The Knights men's side looking to come back after a tough loss, and I think if you ask anybody that Wednesday game, they want to forget it. Good news for them, they get a quick chance to do over here on a Saturday afternoon here against the St. Clair Saints team who's gritty. They're going to get to balls. They're going to give you a tough time. Not the best season for St. Clair by any stretch of the mean. They did take Niagara to 5 sets, though, when they last played.
They did, and that could prove to be a similar thing here today. St. Clair sitting just near the bottom of that playoff picture, but for NC, still have a chance to fight for that final home playoff spot, depending on how Conestoga finishes off their season. They still have 2 games in hand, but it would have to start with a win here at home today before they head on their road trip.
We'll be back in about half an hour, just over half an hour. Thanks for tuning into the women's side of things. The men's is coming up next here from the Simply Financial Athletic Center. I'm Alec Murray. He's Noah Vogel. We'll have the call for you coming up at 3. Stay tuned as St. Clair takes the women's side of things. Straight sets. 3-0 the Saints get their 14th win of the season.